I remember swinging on the gate at the end of the park, and it must have been, I was dressed up because I had white socks on. All I can remember is swinging on this gate and then seeing there was a fire in the road. And I jumped off the gate, and I remember running in and falling on the gravel and cutting my knee, and the blood ran down in my sock. And running in, and one of the uncles was on leave or what have you. He was in uniform, because there was that smell from the brass buttons and the belts, and I ran up and grabbed hold of his legs, and I said to him, "The Germans are coming, the Germans are coming, the Germans are..." And I'm hysterical, and he lifted me up and he swung me round his head. I remember this as clear as anything, and he said, "The war is over. They're having a party down there."
Street celebrations at the end of the war. They had tables all the way down the middle of the road. Everybody sort of produced food and just sort of it came out under the tables, and everyone ate it. And some people who were better at it made cakes, and people handed over part of their rations, to make cakes with.
In Ecton Road, they had a big celebrations for after the war, a street party in Ecton Road. Tables all up the middle.
I can remember putting the flags when our houses were decked with flags, and we had a street party. And I don't know how they did it, because the street party was sort of down the hill, and the trestle tables can't have been that much of a slope, because it was down that end of Marsh Lane rather than the top end. I can just remember having sandwiches and jellies and probably orange squash to drink, and games.
We had tables all the way right up the road in Lashwade Road. We had a table right outside our house, 7 Lashwade, and my cousins live across the road. And they had all food put out. We had cakes, and everybody had to do something. And then they had games, climbing up the greasy pole and races, and it was good. I remember that day. Them days, they were good. Big bonfires we had. We lit great big bonfires. Even on the road then, had a big bonfire. We more or less done what we liked then. That was 6 years of war, so people really fed up with all that, and it was good.
We had celebrations in the street. People came out, they put up tables, long big tables they got borrowed from the churches, chairs. People in the different homes always put something towards a tea. We used to have a lovely tea out in the street.
They had a VE Day party set out down the middle of Water Road, and somehow all the mums found enough food and drinks to give the kids a marvellous party, despite wartime rationing and everything else. But they also had fireworks at night, which was in Turner's Field, and someone managed to set fire to the fireworks in the cardboard box, and all the rockets disappeared up when they shouldn't have done. So the fireworks didn't last very long, and the children all thought it was very funny. And nobody knows to this day who it was that set the fireworks on fire. But we did have a lovely bonfire as well.
Mum and Dad, the Victory pub was one of the local pub they used to like going to, and the end of on the corner of Station Road and Victory Road. So they were there when the final armistice was signed with Japan. And I remember now that they came flying in, because I was in bed, 12 years old, I'm allowed to stay on my own in those days, and get up, the war's over, and they're dancing in the street down the road. So I remember sort of getting up and getting dressed and seeing people having a good old time in the street round that corner.
One thing I vividly remember is in 1946 we were taken out to the school playground, and we saw the RAF fly past over London for the Victory Parade, and we could see them flying over the back there, hundreds of them. That was quite something.